Netflix casting, y'all were real lazy with this one. They literally just took like every teen from Degrassi the Next Generation. They were like, hey, we need all y'all, round them up, let's put them in this show. Hey y'all, and welcome back to Netflix Binge Queen, where I binge watch Netflix TV shows so you don't have to. Today we're going to be talking about Ginny and Georgia, and let me just preface by saying I have very mixed reviews about this one. But if you just want to know if you should binge it or not, you can fast forward to the last minute of my video where you will get my answer. But let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, my first issue with this series is I feel like Netflix marketed it as a just regular drama. The trailer it looked really interesting to me. It had suspense and crime, and it was like a thriller. And it had romance, and then it had like a mother and daughter relationship. So basically it had like all the ingredients to a Netflix show that I would really want to watch. But then when I started watching it, and like by episode 2, I was like, this is definitely a teen drama, and I don't think I was the audience for this. It was super cringy for me. I feel like a lot of times the dialogue was written like it was me or like someone in their 30s, like a millennial, like writing dialogue for how we think Gen Z sounds. And a lot of the dialogue didn't sound like how Gen Z talks. Like they were saying like lit a lot and like bro. Like do people even say lit anymore? My other kind of weird issue, and maybe this is just me, is that all of the teen cast was literally from Degrassi the Next Generation. Like Netflix casting, y'all were real lazy with this one. They literally just took like every teen from Degrassi the Next Generation. They were like, hey, we need all y'all, round them up, let's put them in this show. It felt like a spin-off of Degrassi. It was super weird for me. Like, check it out. He's from Degrassi. She's from Degrassi. Degrassi. And not like I have anything against Degrassi. Obviously, I grew up with like the OG Degrassi, and I watched Degrassi the Next Generation on Netflix. I ain't ashamed to say it. I do like teen dramas sometimes. I'm really into them. But this show literally just felt like a spin-off of Degrassi the Next Generation, and it just felt weird because I was imagining their Degrassi characters as the characters they were in Ginny and Georgia. So it kind of like took me out of it because I was like, wait, that's not how she would act. But she wasn't the same character from Degrassi. So another major issue with the show for me personally was that because it was a teen drama, of course there was a lot of teen sex and drugs and alcohol involved. And again, maybe it's just me, but that's how kids be nowadays. Like, again, I don't know if this is a personal thing, but this is my story personally. I was a super nerd in high school. I did not drink until I got to college. I wasn't going to any parties. I was literally a nerd. Like all I cared about was Harry Potter and theater. And I had one boyfriend who we didn't have sex until we were 18 because my mom made me so scared about sex before I was 18. She literally made me feel like it was illegal. So we didn't have sex before we were 18 because I was like, wait, is it illegal to have sex? So there was a lot of teen sex scenes in this series, and it made me feel like uncomfortable watching it. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I was watching it like looking around. Mind you, there's no one else in my house while I'm watching it. It's just me, and I'm like looking around like, can people see me? Can they see me watching these kids have sex? Like I got so uncomfortable watching the teen sex scenes at one point that I literally had to stop and Google these actors' ages because I knew they weren't really underage. But I just had to Google it and see that they were like, okay, you're 22, you're 24. So I felt like less weird about watching them have sex on screen and like getting naked and taking shots and doing drugs. So again, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a super nerd and I wasn't like that in high school, so I couldn't identify with it. And again, I don't think I'm their target demographic, so I think teens, especially teens who are going through the same issues they are, will really love this one. But for me, it was a no, dog. It's a no for me, dog. Okay, so I know I just shitted on the show and said a bunch of things I didn't like, but I will give you guys some positives that I really liked about the show. The first being that I like that they tackled being a biracial kid and growing up biracial. It's something that, you know, yes, I'm a minority child. I grew up Puerto Rican in New York City, and that's my experience. But I don't know what it's like growing up biracial. Especially for Ginny, like, she's half black, half white. Her mother is white, and her brother is white. So she's growing up in a household where she's already the outcast. So imagine being the outcast in your own home and then going to school and you're the outcast. So I like the way that they represented her, struggling with her biracial identity. And again, she had all white girlfriends, but there were times where they couldn't relate to her, and she knew that. There was a scene where they were sleeping over at the school and everyone was like getting their hair done with those like high Ariana Grande ponytails. And so they're like, it's your turn, Ginny. And as soon as I saw the white woman with the brush that she had with the bristles going to comb Ginny's hair, I was like triggered. I was like, no, Susan, no, don't do it. So I like that they had those scenes where she was again struggling with her biracial identity, and they showed different instances and experiences that she would have to go through that of course her white friends didn't have to go through. I also liked that Hunter's character was biracial, and he was biracial in a way that we don't see a lot, especially portrayed in media. He was half Taiwanese and half white. So when they had that little oppression Olympics fight, I was like, oh, like they were going back and forth about oppression. I was just like, eats popcorn. Okay, and another positive I will say, even though yes, I know I'm telling you not to binge watch the show, there are a few positives. My other positive note is that I really love Georgia's character. I loved her sweet southern accent. She was just so cute. Like, I loved her character. I loved her character development. I liked the flashbacks that they showed about her past and why she is the kind of con woman and hustler that she is today. Like, she came from an abusive household, and she just had to struggle her whole life to be a good mother and to be a good woman in the eyes of society. So I like that we had those flashbacks to her history, because her story was crazy. And yes, she was a criminal. Yes, she was a teen mom, and she was all these things that usually have negative connotations to them, but they made her character so likable, and we really saw that she was trying to turn her life around. So yeah, Georgia really pushed the show for me, and I kept watching because I wanted to know what happened with Georgia, because I really did like her, and I really got attached to her. Maybe because she's my age and I was like not attached to the teens. I don't know. Again, this is my personal opinion. Watch it for yourself if you feel like you would have a different opinion. Alright, now on to season 2 predictions. Again, obviously I'm not the biggest fan of this show, but I may hate watch season 2 just because I'm nosy and I want to know what happens. So at the end of season 1, we see Ginny and Austin drive off on the motorcycle, and it's a big mystery. We don't know where they're going. So we have 2 possibilities for how season 2 is going to play out and where they're going. The first is that they're going to see Ginny's dad in Boston. He had previously purchased an apartment there, so it makes sense. She loves her dad. It makes sense that she just wants to go live with him. And then the second option, which is the more risque option, and I actually hope this is the one Netflix does because I want to know about this story, is that they're on their way to see Austin's dad. So I think they're on their way to the address in Austin's dad's letters, which would be an interesting new storyline to develop in season 2. So I really hope they go that route. Alright, that was my review for Ginny and Georgia on Netflix. Again, my recommendation is if you're 25 and up, I wouldn't binge it, but if you're under 25, I think you will really like it. If you agree with me or don't agree with me, or you have any more comments about anything I said in this video, comment below. Let's fight. No, I'm kidding. Let's discuss. I really want to discuss this show because, again, I'm not the target demographic, and maybe younger people than me have a different kind of view on this show. So I'd love to hear your opinions. And again, if you want to like and subscribe, whatever, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Live your life, you're a grown-up, but you can like and subscribe if you want. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!